The second section in this module has to do with being with a camper. While counseling a camper through a difficult time, we want to create a really strong interpersonal and emotional connection with them. And as I said in the previous module, as they're going through this emotional and difficult time, they need to feel that you're with them and that you're feeling it with them and they're not alone in that feeling. There's a difference between having sympathy and having empathy. So I like to quote Brene Brown. She highlights that empathy fuels connection while sympathy drives disconnection. She specifies that empathy is I'm feeling with you. Sympathy is I'm feeling for you. So you can kind of see the difference. I'm feeling for you still feels like from afar I can see that you're suffering. Empathy is, and it's very difficult, and we'll talk about how to build empathy with your camper through listening skills and the things that you reflect back to them. But it's a sense that, oh, this person's really feeling what I'm feeling, or they understand to a deeper degree what I'm going through, rather than just feeling sorry for me. So yeah, we need to foster that sense of being with a camper as they are in need of our support. And here are some guidelines for instilling that sense of standing with or being with a camper. So number one is listening very attentively. Listening is the combination of hearing and understanding what's being said. So understand what is told by the person, how it is being told, and also tune into how you feel as it's being told to you, as well as the nonverbal cues that you get from that person that allude to how they're feeling as they're telling it. Listen not only to what the person says, but how they say it. So their tone of voice. And again, any of those nonverbal cues. I mean, a lot of times when children are heightened, it's very clear kind of the emotional state. They might be crying, or they might be balled up, or they might avert eye contact. So all of those give you extra clues to exactly how that child is feeling. And a lot of times you could even reflect some of those feeling states back, given all that information. And even as closed off as that child is, they see that, you know, you're connecting with their emotional state at the moment. Be attentive and open-minded. This allows them to know you care. It reduces their defensiveness. It may allow them to experience and express more of what they're feeling, and or develop their thinking around it. So you're opening them up to different ways of maybe thinking about what's going on for them. And it also helps them develop self-help skills and a sense of what to do next. Another really important thing to do is exude warmth in your presence through either your facial expressions or your body posture. You want to look a bit relaxed so it starts to relax them. And you want to basically stand in a way that's approachable. A lot of times you'll be going down to their level or sitting across from them. So you don't ever want to tower above a child when you're trying to connect on a deep level. Another one is showing respect and being non-judgmental. I think, you know, this goes without saying, but it is really difficult, even those little micro interpretations that might be somewhat judgmental. We need to catch ourselves in doing that. So adopt an attitude of full acceptance, respecting the person's feelings, personal values, and experiences as valid, even if they might be a little bit different than your own, or at worst, you know, you disagree with them. Choose your words carefully so as not to use any stigmatizing labels, but rather model that acceptance, making it easier for the person to accept the help that you're trying to offer them. And at the bottom line, like, just be very genuine. Try to show that you genuinely care and are concerned for that person. If you don't understand, it's okay to check in and even ask for further information. Most people, if they feel connected with you, wouldn't fault you for just asking for a bit of clarification. And even asking that shows that you care enough to really want to know what's going on. So don't feel bashful if you do need to ask some clarifying questions if you're not quite sure where the person's coming from. And then the last thing is maintain confidentiality. Now, this creates a sense of security for the camper because if you assure them that what you're talking about with them doesn't have to leave the room or doesn't have to leave that conversation, that you won't repeat it to other adults unless it's for their safety, then they feel more open to express because they don't think that that information could leak out to people who might judge them. So those are all the considerations that you might want to keep in mind as you're applying some of the counseling skills we'll go over. And they all have to do with trying to be with that camper.